even if you like compare it with your previous partners, पर बहुत टाइम ऐसा होता है कि बहुत लोग they're in a long relationship for a very long time and then they break up and then they just lose interest in all sorts of dating, and then there's the parental pressure and the family pressure, and so वो चक्कर में they get into arranged marriage, and then they just see like a few matches and they meet them once or twice and then they just settle for uh the first or the second match.
Rahul, can you stop calling me out, please? Uh,
What are we talking about today, Yusuf?
arranged marriages and thoughts, process, conundrums regarding it.
Mhm.
Oh.
So, show of hands if anybody's done that before or is doing that right now.
I've done like half of it, but not for me. I've done it for my brother. So my
Great.
perspective is not first person perspective. It's actually second person perspective, which is actually
Yeah.
the best way to look at it because you're not
I've,
actually involved in the process, but you know
so
what's
I've
happening.
I've had the second person perspective with my sister earlier, and I have the first hand perspective now. It's so much different. And I feel all the judgments I made about all those guys, I feel probably the brothers and siblings of the girls that I speak to, they must be making about me now.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
here with an imaginary popcorn, so I'm just here to watch, not yet started the process for myself.
How has that been, Yusuf? Like being judged by, feeling that being judged by, the cousins and the whoever.
I mean, again, I don't know because I don't get that. I'm getting the feeling that they might, right? I
Right.
won't be the one to go and ask them, what are your friends' thoughts on me?
No, I
And
agree. But then, like, when you know that you're being judged, like, that is something that I feel that I didn't think about it much before going into the process. But then when you actually start doing it, you're like, oh, yeah, I am being judged by the family, the friends, the person itself. So, how has that been for you?
so this actually is my biggest concern with this entire thing. More so because I am doing it mostly virtually. So I've probably spoken to like a dozen people now
Hmm.
virtually. I've only met one.
Hmm.
Uh, and so virtually it's all the more difficult because now they know the virtual persona of me and not the I don't know if I'm different otherwise in person, right? Because I think I would like to believe I'm a lot more smoother over text. Okay, not even kidding. I would think so. But I might not be the same in person, right? So they are judging a person of me. That's easier because texts are easier. You can take time to think, you can take time to respond. Uh, all of those, even on video calls, right? You have that. But in person, it can be a different dynamic. Uh, so I'm not sure again if they're judging the right me, but that entire thing about judging people through like 5 sentences that they write about themselves is is a legit concern, but that's how it is, right? Because like how you would date somebody, like how you would take a Tinder or Bumble, right? You would judge people based on a 2 lines that they write about them. It's very similar to that.
So,
The
would you
difference I think
say,
is the intentions are different here, I guess.
It's
so
not
would you
specific to the arranged marriage situation either, right? Like Tinder, Bumble work the same way. You're still reading
Exactly.
the bio and you're still judging the person by what they write. I mean, I write all kinds of crap on my Tinder profile and I don't necessarily meet them
Somebody
there.
has a Tinder profile.
No, but I think
I
the
think
difference here,
everybody has a Tinder profile, but yeah, people lie
say,
on it.
sabka nahi hota, Lakshman.
what is
Really?
this
What really?
generalization?
I thought everybody is on it, especially girls, because
Great.
I think girls get a lot more likes than
Like
the guys do.
everybody is as horny. I don't think so.
No,
मेरी
but I
माँ
think
देखने वाली है ये शायद. मैं तो बहुत अच्छी हूँ मम्मी. टिंडर क्या होता है पता भी नहीं मुझे.
We
I
are
guess
like,
Tinder has a reputation. When you say like Hinge or Coffee Meets Bagel, I think people are more accepting of having a profile on that than Tinder.
but that there's a layer of expectation in Shadi.com or Jeevan Sati, right? Like people on it are already looking for like a life partner, but on Bumble or Tinder, they're not looking for a life partner
I would
necessarily.
say that like based on just general perception of these apps, people do sort of have different kinds of expectations from different apps. Like I would say on Tinder, like now it's a known fact or something or a norm that people know if you're on Tinder, you're like looking to hook up. But if you're on like a Dilmil or a Hinge or something, like it's more like people do have some expectations because they're like, yeah, I'm looking for something long term. So that's, I guess that's the new arranged marriage uh evolution.
I like how that has happened. Like I'll have friends who are probably looking to get married in the next 2 years. Like we're in that age now. But they don't want to immediately go on a shadi.com because that looks very serious. But they
Yeah.
don't want to be on a Tinder because they're like, we're not here for hookups. We want something long term. So let's find these apps, which is a Dilmil or something, because we
Yeah.
want it to turn into more. It's just not immediately right now.
Right, right. Even I think for me, I'm not doing the shadi.com route or something of that sort. It's more about connections, mummy ke, masi ke, bua ke, bete ki koi to aisa. It's more of that, right? So people that you know who know somebody who are looking for somebody, uh, that helps. But again, I think the difference is with a dating app and with something of this is the weight of the consequences of the decision that you're making is very different. Uh, because you know the expectation that you're setting with somebody is very different from the get-go, right? So you know that you're talking to somebody with the intention of, if it works out, getting married, which is very different from the intention of going with going on a date with somebody.
Do you think that's
uh,
better?
I honestly don't think so, because there you stop. I don't know, because I think you're judging the person a whole lot more, because now, and again with the arranged marriage, right? Because you get options, uh, you
Mhm.
become more choosy because you're like, okay, if not this, I can wait for the next one, the next one. Uh, I've heard from a few friends, that maybe they start early with the intention that we'll get some net practice, so that when I have a good feel about this, like a year down the line, I'll know better, which I think makes sense, because like when I look upon myself, uh, very different the kind of conversations I had. I think I opened up too soon with some people that maybe scared them off. So versus now I know to hold back a little, like I don't need to give away, even at the cost of being vulnerable, right away. So I think that matters, because now you're judging people and everything they're saying because you're looking for a potential life partner there. So that makes a
But
difference.
but I think you're kind of setting yourself up to be judged because the whole Tinder Jeevan Sati profile is set up in a way in which they ask you all kinds of personal questions as well. And then once those things match, like there's questions about what kind of skin color of partner you want, or what kind of Rashi, or what kind of Gotra, or what kind
Right.
of pay package
So
are you
I
looking for.
so I personally don't know about that, because like I said, I haven't like
Same
used
here.
platforms for these.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's kind of hilarious to look at from a third person point of view. But for our parents or for the generation before us, it's all that matters. Like they want to make sure that they get their kids married off into a good family, and that includes everything. Like they think about what kind of color their grandkids might be, and that depends on what kind of color the girl or the boy is that you get your kid married off to. And that is sort of weird, and it is very racist and casteist, and but it still happens, and it happens very openly. And it's the case with every shadi.com or Jeevan Sati or any other matrimonial site out there. They ask you all kinds of questions that go on to that level of detail, and it's those details based on which they decide whether they want their kid to meet this family, or whether they want their kid to be friends with this family first and then decide whether they want to marry or not. um so it's a
Do
little
they,
controversial.
do they ask your list of exes? Because that would be a fun question to have on there.
No, they don't ask any of that.
That is the question they are missing. You could have all the detail in the world, but that would be like the one question. No, but in one way, though, there is nothing left to ask. I mean, they're being as transparent as they can. This is everything we have, and you're not even allowing for that, you know, conversation by conversation thoda reveal kare kind
But
of.
Aishwarya, you bring that up, although our parents ready to even face the fact that there might be exes or there might be some baggage. So to bring that to a table where a parent is involved would be hilarious, but also like not even if it might not be awkward for us, I think it would be so awkward for them. And so I'm like, how much are they their own prejudices against this is affecting the person's ability to know that other person better.
But
But
that's what like the funda is. The उन लोग का फंडा ऐसा है कि 18 से 24 तक you should study and then you should get a good starting job and then you kind of work on your career and then not focus on relationships at all. And then suddenly when you're 27 or 28, they expect you to have a girl. And then they're like, why don't you just go and date? Like,
mom's
that
been
wasn't the
telling me
culture at
that.
home. I haven't
My
been
mom
trained with this.
has been weirdly going like, don't you have guy friends there? Don't you like know anybody at work? Like, you should start thinking about this. Koi hai kya jo tere mein interest dikha raha? I'm like, we have never spoken about these things. This is not our comfort level or our relationship where we discuss boys between. It's so weird. But suddenly she wants me to have a guy while I
That
have.
is so true, though, that they want to be best friends with you. And you're like, we can't directly be best friends. Like, we have like so many levels to cross before I even tell you that, oh, I'm interested in a guy. Like, how can I
Exactly.
just jump to that level of intimacy with you? You're just my mother.
Exactly. And that level of concept or that concept they don't understand. And I don't know, it's very awkward to speak to them about this. And
I
I
think
don't know.
moms can be very possessive or just protective of us. So
Yeah.
even if you bring up a guy, like they'll sort of have their radar on to know whether the guy is trying to take advantage. मतलब concept है कि बंदा advantage लेने के लिए आया है. मतलब that is how it is if you're trying to date in college or something. For a guy, it's like लड़की पैसे के पीछे है. For a girl, it's like लड़का एक चीज के पीछे भाग रहा है. Regardless of whether you are into it or not. So the mother, like in the past, right, I have kind of spoken about a guy to my mom and just sort of mentioned it, and my mother's point used to be like, oh, like what what caste is he from? I was like, first of all, I didn't know, and also why does that matter? It was like, what if he's from a caste where his parents tell you that you're not interested, like they are not interested, then what will you do if he leaves? And I was like, I'm in college, I haven't really thought about what happens 7-8 years down the line, and this is so weird and I didn't think of it. But like ultra protectiveness, and I was like, no, like I don't want to reveal more about my life or what I'm doing until I am sure.
But do you guys prefer putting out all the information at once, like all the real information out once, and then have people choose you? Or would you prefer just taking it slow, like going meeting by meeting, giving out little information at a time, and then until you build a kind of a comfort level where you can share like deeper things?
I would
I
say the
think
preferable is the former, which is like, I just want to give all the information to you so that I'm off the hook, like my burden is gone. But if I was receiving a lot of information at once without having much background or backstory, I think I would be a harsher judge. So I guess vice versa, when you're giving all the information at once. So even though I feel it would be easier, I guess the latter is more effective.
yeah,
Match.
I think yeah, because the I don't know which was the former answer, but the one with the more information could be overwhelming at once.
Yeah.
If you haven't really made that connection with the other person and spoken to unearth all of those things. But I think like I've received profiles, some with only name, date of birth, and what do they do right now. And some I've received with things like, more about them, what are their hobbies, what do they like to do, what are they looking for in a spouse, things like that. Again, this is not giving too much, but at least I'm seeing more of the personality versus otherwise it's just like Tinder, right? Because I'm just seeing their name, what are they doing, how old are they, with 2 photos, which doesn't really help much. Which brings me to another point is, because when you're receiving these profiles, the only way you have to judge them really is primarily through photos, right? And me, the first thing I would do,
Chapri wala photo, the Chapri cap.
no. The first thing I would do is go and stalk them online, right? And this is very hypocritical of me because I myself have very little online presence. Like I do not have active social media accounts, so I do not put out any photos. And I probably have photos from 5 6 years ago, which wouldn't want anybody to judge me based off. I would want them to judge me based upon who I am now and possibly after talking to me for a bit. But then again, because you could be flooded with so many different profiles and you have to make those decisions, right? Uh, that's what I would do, is go and search them. And sometimes it becomes intimidating because then you would see a lot of things about, again, if they have an online presence, you would see probably how accomplished they are, or all the things, and that would cloud your judgment about them versus somebody who does not have an online presence, or things like that, right? So I think that also plays a huge factor into this, like how much information they're sharing up front.
I would
So,
say, like, so the start of this year, like, I just got rid of all my online social media. Like, I didn't get rid of it, but basically I went off it. So I don't know, like, if people can still see my profile or not, but they can't. Okay, fine. So, like, I use LinkedIn now to
oh,
But
that's,
talk
that's
but
to
the
this is
first thing
so
I do.
funny. It's so funny. If Neshi has a potential match, I'll just immediately bring my phone. I'm similar to you, Yusuf. Like I barely have like photos on Insta or something, just a few here and there. I'm not big on social media, but if we know there's a potential match coming, we'll immediately open our phones. I'll search it out of my Insta. That is what my Insta exists for. I think at this point, it's just a stalking mechanism. And we'll at least go through some things and just follow so we know more about this person. And Neshi and I will do this. We'll go like, oh, he travels. Oh, look at his.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I know,
gone
right?
skydiving. Whoa, that's kind of cool. Like we
Exactly.
do
Like,
this.
you do make those judgments based on all of these photos, even though you know that social media is just a way of them to control their narrative, right? Like, it's not the real them. Like, it could be, but there is always a possibility that they're trying to control the narrative based on all the photos that they're putting. Same with
Right.
me. Like, I might be doing that even though it might be unconscious. So,
Mhm.
yes, I do that judgment, but I guess just being aware of that helps me acknowledge that, okay, fine, this is just like a screen. Like, it cannot be the way to judge someone or eliminate or, like, include them in the process, I
But
guess.
Neshi, we have spoken about this throughout. We constantly judge people. Like
Oh,
we are,
yeah.
we're
For
aware that
everybody, that's the
we're
fun
judging
part.
people, and I don't know whether it makes us like we want to be these forward thinking, people that are open to everything, and we are to so much, like to an extent, but we'll still find ourselves like every new person we meet or every potential new guy that we hang out, we're like, he does this, he does. Did you
Yeah.
see him
And
say
I
this?
think
And
Yusuf brought this up earlier, wherein he went like, the magnitude of judgment is much more when you are meeting a date versus when you're meeting someone with expectations. Like, I think we judge a lot more uh, if we know that, okay, something is going to come out of it, and are
Did you
less
not
accepting of it.
did you not feel that you were putting additional pressure on yourself though? Like
I do.
the moment it goes like it's for marriage, suddenly it has to be like the best human being found on earth, and
exactly.
nothing below
Ex-
that.
And again, I
Exactly.
think that's where standards versus expectations come in. I think the expectations are probably built upon people you've dated before,
Yeah.
and so because you know what you've had, you think you would want better than that, right? Because if it's any lower than that, how would you feel about you were with somebody who was so much better than this?
Which is
You would give
so,
yourself a tough
like,
time.
it's not right. I mean, I would
Exactly.
say it's something that comes very naturally to all of us, but I think it's not right, and I think we try not to do that, but it's just inbuilt, I guess, that you're like, okay, I had this, so at least the next person should match up to this. But then you're not seeing it holistically, you're just comparing quality by quality, when if you see holistically, they might be like equals, they might be good at something else and not at this. So
But
yeah,
even
that
when
is a
you,
legit concern.
but even if you like compare it with your previous partners, पर बहुत टाइम ऐसा होता है कि बहुत लोग they're in a long relationship for a very long time and then they break up and then they just lose interest in all sorts of dating and then there's the parental pressure and the family pressure and so वो चक्कर में they get into arranged marriage and then they just see like a few matches and they meet them once or twice and then they just settle for uh, the first or the second match.
Rahul, can you stop calling me out, please?
But
Yeah, see?
again, like
But that's
I
what I
would
meant.
say that
No, but
Yusuf, if that was actually the case, like you're saying that okay, yeah, you would settle for the first or the second one.
no,
But
no,
then
sorry, I wouldn't do that. But yeah,
yeah, but then also like the other person is the onus is also on the other person, right? They should try and know that okay, what is your past and
But what if
where
the other
do you
person
come
has been
from?
through the same experience?
ठीक है ना? At least
Yeah.
awareness is better.
I would actually prefer that. I wouldn't want to know that upfront, maybe, but I would prefer that somebody with a dating experience because they've actually been with somebody. They
Yeah.
know the compatibility quotient. They know they're more self-aware, I guess, that way.
And
They're more
also
sure of what they want
expectations
in a
are
partner.
lowered.
यार ये तो जॉब इंटरव्यू जैसे हो गया यार तुम्हारे पास एक्सपीरियंस है क्या तुम्हारे बायोडेटा में
No, I think it's just better that way. I mean, it's not necessary. And again, I think talking about being holistic in your judgments, I try to do that, right? So even I receive profiles that I know are of sure no, but because I want to be the bigger person, I still give them a try. And I would speak to them for 2-3 weeks, knowing every moment that this is not a match for me.
Why
And
would
in the
you do
process,
that?
again, because with the intention of giving everybody a chance, right? So although I do have strong gut
So,
feeling about something, but I
is it
still
for
don't want to
them
be
or
judging.
is this for you though?
Good question. I don't know that yet. If it's for them or for me.
Deshi Mataji going deep with her.
Sorry,
I
yaar,
no
occupational
no.
hazard, you know.
Sometimes I also think, am I doing this just because that way at least I have somebody to talk to? It sounds very depressing that way, I know. But at least, because, for example, I'm speaking to somebody right now. We've been speaking for quite a while.
Ooh.
From day one, I know, for me, it's not going to work out.
Oh
The only
God.
reason it's going right now because they have shown a lot of interest. I'm hoping they never see this, but because they have shown a lot of interest, right? And because they're putting in all those efforts. For me, it's just reciprocating to that instead of making that initiative myself. Right? Instead of being proactive, I'm more reactive here.
So, Yusuf, would their interest though change your mind? Like that is a possibility, right?
That's exactly why I've been speaking to them for so long now, right? I wouldn't have had they not been interested in the first place.
Hmm.
But would you, here's an interesting question. Like, would you want to choose a partner based on things that don't intersect with your life? Or would you want to choose a partner where they do similar things just as you? But then there is like an element of it getting boring or something because you
I
guys talk about the same things, do the same things all the time. I feel
only
like there
very
should be somewhere right.
recently, only very recently I've had this realization that you have certain filters that I want somebody who's ambitious, I want somebody who likes to go out a lot. But I think when you actually really are in love, uh, it does not see as much logic, right? So you don't when you're not in love, right? When you're trying to work things out, you try to rationalize a lot of things. But when you're actually in love, when you actually like somebody really for who they are, and you have that strong gut feeling, I don't think you rationalize any of this if their path intersect with mine or not. In that case, you go the extra mile to be together, even if it's not. But when
That
it's
is such a good point
It's a
because
rom-com moment.
in the past, like, I mean, now that has kind of become my filter, kind of that, I should like the person for who they are. But then if you're going through the arranged marriage path and you apply all of these filters, then those hindrances which could come are already gone. So how do
right,
you get that feeling of like, oh, I'm with this person in spite of all of these things,
exactly,
right?
and that's why I try to give people chances. But still, that strong gut feeling is sometimes hard to overcome.
But then also the other way around, like when I like if things are becoming easier, shouldn't that be better? Like that, oh, all of these things that could be possible hindrances are now taken care of, and now I just have to like this
So
is kind of like my ideal.
so I would say, I think in that case, I try to bring up a conversation with people about what are their red flags and what are my red flags. I think because I think we all have strong pillars in life, right? As long as those pillars stay intact and we can see a match in the other person, that I think everything else we can navigate around. But for example, just for example, if one person is super religious, the
Mhm.
other is not at all, right? Uh, and if that brings a conflict in your day-to-day living, that could be a big hindrance. Versus something like I like cooking and I like eating home. They like going out. I don't think that should be like a factor to be considered. I like going to hike a lot, versus they are not so much, right? So I wouldn't filter somebody based upon hobbies and interests and the kind of shows they watch. I wouldn't judge them if they watch Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. Uh, but then again, like those pillars matter. So I think deciding for yourself what are your major red flags. For
Mhm.
example, I would want my partner hopefully to be financially independent, right? That could be they could be working from home for all I care. They could be trying to build something toward that. They could be doing anything really, but as long as they're striving towards something, that's good enough for me. I wouldn't want somebody who has no ambition in that way. For example,
But
that's like a
then at
major thing.
what point does going the extra mile uh, come into play versus you deciding not to compromise on your principles in an arranged marriage setup?
So I think that's very subjective to what your principles are, right? Like I said, I think you have to really decide on what principles you think you want to hold on to, and you can't negotiate on. Versus what
Can
are
you
some other
talk
things.
more about that? Like I'm not sure I'm following the question here.
Like, so Yusuf mentioned ki if you really love somebody, then you choose to go the extra mile to try to make it work. But
Mm.
going the extra mile also implies that you're willing to compromise on some of your principles just to see that if it works out or not.
Okay,
अबे चल अबे चल अबे
that we
Guys,
could for
please
this.
subscribe so they have some budget to have at least a Zoom.
Let's
Have people like Yusuf and Neshi who are bringing so much insight to conversations, and you're just like, baat to sahi hai. I'm gonna bring popcorn next time for sure.